2025, Bronny James barely gets any playing time this season, but he does end up putting on a clinic whenever he was put on the court. You could tell that he definitely was practicing and will be a star in the next couple of years, but the Lakers just have not been utilizing him here, especially within his first season. Gratefully, he was able to still play alongside his father, who was soon to be retired. They ended up making it to the NBA Cup game, but losing to the Spurs rather quickly before even being able to proceed to any other games. Here they're going against the Thunder in the playoffs, giving them a clinic. Bronny James still, though, is not getting enough minutes to put damage onto this team. This is game 2, and he still just didn't have enough to be able to get his team to a win. So him and his father ended up taking a loss to the Thunder in the first round of the NBA playoffs. And in this playoffs, the Thunder actually ended up winning. And they end up taking the finals in their hands, getting rings, getting the championship, getting the MVP, which is something that we did not want to occur. But hopefully next season we can have Bronny James be well prepared, better, now that he has some off-season time to be able to prepare, to practice, to be able to do whatever he needs to do. We're going to be giving him more minutes. Let's see if Bronny James is going to end up playing to the standard of his father. During this season, Bronny averaged 4.8 points, 1 rebound per game, and 1 assist per game. It was not good at all. Next season, we definitely have something more in store for Bronny James. He is going to be a beast, whether it's next season, whether it's the third season. We're going to keep going until Bronny James ends up getting an MVP and receiving the championship. And sadly, this goes to the Thunder. But let's get right into Bronny James next season. So in 2026, here we got him going against Dallas and putting on a clinic to Luka Doncic, which is going great here, having LeBron James screen for him. Now he's going against the Boston Celtics, putting it down, showing that he is LeBron James' son, but still he is lacking the playing time simply because his attributes are not as good. He's still, he's pretty decent. He's a 70 overall now, 75, I believe, to be exact. And he's putting on clinics against, Stephen Curry, against Wiggins, against Luka Doncic, but it's still, is it going to be enough? That's what we need to know. And he's going against the Thunder again in the first round, and they end up losing the first round again to the Thunder. This Thunder team has been amazing, and this is the second year, man. So the second year, the Thunder ends up pulling off getting another championship, getting another ring, and getting just another MVP that is not going to Bronny James. But can Bronny James end up bouncing back in this third season? Though the Thunder just did a two-peat, Bronny James has definitely improved. He averages 8 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists this season. He did end up losing in the NBA Cup, and this is the last year with LeBron James. LeBron James is here retiring, so let's go and see with that retirement and opening up some cap space, can we get some more valuable players that could play along Bronny? And this season, Bronny ends up going crazy, going berserk. He ends up getting to around a 90 overall, jumping really far up, and is just knocking down these threes and ended up becoming the player that everyone thought he would be. As you can see, he's in the NBA Cup, and he ends up taking out the Memphis Grizzlies. And these Grizzlies somehow ended up getting Kevin Durant. So this was going against Ja Morant and Kevin Durant. Bronny James went crazy against them and ultimately put them to sleep. But now they are heading to the championship NBA Cup game against the Hornets. As you can see, crossing over LaMelo Ball there, dunking the ball. Bronny James just looking the way that we knew he would look in the next couple of years. Here's him celebrating because this game is going the way that he wants it to go. Though LaMelo Ball was definitely putting up a challenge with a hook shot right there and a step back three. Ultimately, we ended up getting the win over LaMelo Ball, winning the NBA Cup Finals, which is crazy. In our third year winning the NBA Cup Finals, beating, the Hornets to end up getting the win, and ultimately it was 85-76. That was the score. And Connect is also a good person to be having on this team. Davis and Connect have definitely been holding Bronny accountable, but Bronny is ultimately the star as they raise this championship up in the air. Bronny James ends up becoming an NBA Cup champion. Now we end up proceeding, and Bronny James is still continuously putting on a clinic, but as y'all can see here, he is going against the Thunders again in round 1, but this time he ends up taking the W. It was 4-1. So Bronny James has definitely improved because they've been going against this team for the last 2 years, and they got taken out by them, and they ultimately won a championship. But now the Lakers, with Bronny James leading, took out the remaining champions and are sending them home packing. Let's continue this playoff journey. Who are we going against next? We end up going against Luka Doncic, who is now on the Kings, and we ended up taking them out 4-0 with a big sweep going against the Kings. Ultimately, here now we're going against the Grizzlies, which this was a battle while we were in the NBA Cup, beating the Grizzlies to end up getting to the final. Ultimately, we got the conference championship, and let's see if Bronny James ends up getting the MVP of the conference. And remember, this Grizzlies team has Ja Morant and Kevin Durant. It is Bronny James, Anthony Davis, and Dalton Connect that ended up putting a stop to this team twice this year when it was in the NBA Cups and now in the playoffs. So Bronny James is holding this conference championship, and let's see if he ends up getting the MVP championship, which he does, which is MVP championship, my bad, MVP for the conference, which is crazy, especially because Dalton Connect was definitely going crazy this entire season as well next to Bronny. But next, we end up defeating the Detroit Pistons 4-2 in the NBA Finals. In this season, Bronny James has averaged 25 points, jumping drastically from last year, which was 8 points. So he averaged 25 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists, and the record for this season was 57-25. Definitely was going crazy. Won the NBA Cup, and then with a triple-double, by the way. And then ends up beating the Hornets, like I said, to end up winning that, and then won a ring against the Pistons, which I still don't get how the Pistons ended up making it to the NBA Finals, but it is okay. Now let's see if Bronny James ends up actually getting the full-blown MVP, which I think he will, because Bronny James was definitely going crazy this season in particular. Like, he definitely improved. He was not where he was last season from where he was now, and he definitely deserves a ring. 2026 or 2027, our Lakers end up winning the championship, and Bronny James leading the pack.